Hi everyone, I'm Katie and this is Editor's Choice Chats. Today we are in Karmøy, Norway.
I know, you would think it's the Caribbean. Look at this white sand and that turquoise water. It's crazy.
It's absolutely stunning. I am joined by Victoria Coleman. She is the editor of businessnorway.com. Victoria, welcome once again.
Thank you. It's so great to be with you again, Katie.
Victoria, please tell us about businessnorway.com.
Business Norway is a digital platform that showcases Norway's key industries, green and sustainable solutions, investment opportunities, events, and much more.
We're talking about key industries. Today, we're talking about a specific key industry, floating offshore wind. It all started right here in Norway.
It started right here in Karmøy. Norway really is the pioneer here. I mean, we have Equinor that built the world's first floating wind turbine, Hywind Demo, back in 2009. Oh, and I see a little bit of it up there. It's now called Zephyros.
So 2009, I mean, man, that was more than a decade ago.
And a lot's happened since then. I mean, Equinor went on to develop the world's first commercial floating wind farm, Hywind Scotland, which came online in 2017, and that now powers about 36,000 British homes.
That's a lot of power.
It is.
So Victoria, we're talking about the wind, we're talking about floating offshore wind, and there are certain advantages to that. Tell us about those.
Right. Wind power is only produced when the wind is blowing. So you want to locate an offshore wind farm where the winds are the most stable. Now, 80% of the world's best wind resources are found in waters that are too deep for a standard, bottom fixed foundation. There's so many areas where you can build floating wind farms with minimal impact on marine life and the environment.
There are developments happening from Norwegian companies, and they're happening also in Scotland.
Yeah, Scotland has opened up several areas in the North Sea for developing offshore wind. And two companies, Seawind and Magnora Offshore Wind, and their consortia have been awarded agreements to develop two of those.
That is super exciting, and it's not just Scotland we're talking about. Norwegian companies are going international. They've got international ambition.
Right. In the US, Aker Offshore Wind, for example, is developing floating wind off the coast of California. That's where the deeper waters are in the States.
Well, this is just so exciting, Victoria. It sounds like there's so much development happening.
There really is. Norway itself is issuing licenses to generate 30 gigawatts of floating wind by 2040. And that would cover nearly all of today's electricity consumption here in Norway. The EU envisions that wind power can provide 50% of Europe's electricity by 2050. Now, most of that will be land-based wind, but offshore wind will have to be increased by 25 times.
Victoria, thank you so much for joining me today. Stay tuned, we're going to bring you more stories about floating offshore wind, but in the meantime, check out businessnorway.com so you can learn more about this fascinating and blowy key industry.